village.
No.
We're not thinking it'll be. So we're about 2,500 residents in the village, roughly. But it's about, I think that's even getting smaller. We always had about 2,500 of us in our township. So mine is 68. We created a joint fire.
Yeah.
We can share that resource and it's next to us.
Yeah, it goes in the
We have to run
Call this meeting of the whole to order. Start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scott Garrett?
Yes.
Sherry Pennington?
Yes.
Cheryl Belknap?
Yes.
Terry Altier? Here. Marilyn Gage?
Here.
David Belknap?
She's out of us.
The baby.
Yes. All right, 3, we have prior guests to speak. Anyone would like to speak? Did we get the minutes?
They're right there, we don't.
I'm gonna type them up this weekend. Distribute. I don't have a computer at home. So I went through that whole, that was a 3-hour video.
No, it wasn't.
That's what he sent me, 5:14. Was that not the correct one?
There was 2 minutes for.
We'll table the minutes till next month.
Okay. That's not like a football game.
We got,
So there's no fiscal officer reports, there's no reports.
she does have a financial, need to print that out.
Oh, I did have it with me.
Oh,
We
okay.
talked about the status report, but it's not going, can we get it?
Yeah. So we have fiscal officers report. That will be printed, distributed to everyone.
We're in the transition of a new fiscal officer, so this is her first week. Mac has been filling in for a few weeks.
I'll be filling in for you.
We can do that.
Just do that real quick. All right, we're gonna move on to
Marilyn, pass
6,
that down.
old business. The grass. We had discussed last month about the grass ordinance, changing it from 5 inches, or 5 days to 3 days, right?
Yes.
For the distribution of the letters, so,
It's on here.
yeah, we'll, open that up.
Do you want me to read it now?
Right now, yeah.
All right, an ordinance amending section 55502, notice to cut grass or weeds of the codified ordinance of the village of Windham, which was the 3-day notice, went from a 3-day notice, from a 5-day notice to a 3-day notice. This is the last read. Motion to approve?
No, it's the second.
No, that's the second.
It's the second read.
Well, on
Because
here
the
it has
first one
April,
was
May, and
withdrawn.
June. Pardon me?
The first one was withdrawn and then we amended it to add an
Okay.
extra section, so this is the second read as amended.
Second. Does anybody need to have discussion on this? No, good? So do we make a motion to accept it, Charles, or just move on?
Yeah, it's a motion to accept, and then you need someone to second, that's all.
Scott already accepted.
Okay.
Then just do roll call.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Pennington,
Yes.
Ms. Belknap,
Yes.
Ms. Eltier,
Yes.
Ms. Gage,
Yes.
Alright. Council President's report, Sherry.
Alright. So we have to vote on the ordinance for the Marty Hill Bauer Road, so it's an ordinance number 2024-4, in order to change the name of the street currently known as Bauer Avenue to Marty Hill Drive and Bauer Avenue. Motion to accept ordinance 2024-4.
Make that motion.
Alright, then you just need to roll call.
we don't have to have a second.
Scott just said.
Oh, sorry, I thought you was accepting, so.
Sherry, is that the third read?
Yeah, we did a third read, that was we had to amend it, because remember it said just Marty Hill Drive.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't have
Power
Alright.
on there.
Alright.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Pennington,
Yes.
Ms. Belknap,
Yes.
Ms. Eltier,
Yes.
and Ms. Gage.
Yes.
Alright, so a motion to approve resolution number 2024-13. Did everybody have a copy of this, opioid?
Yeah.
Okay. An emergency resolution to authorize the solicitor to accept on behalf of the village material terms of the Kroger opioid settlement dated March 22nd, 2024, reference number CL-9 or 796056, and declare an emergency. Can I get a second?
Second.
Just briefly, this is one of those settlements for the opioid crisis in the country. Money was allocated throughout the 50 states by a drug producer, which is Kroger in this particular case. I think about 114 million was distributed to the state of Ohio. I believe Windham's entitled to 0.0002% of that. When you fall under a certain threshold, it goes to the county, like the other ones did, for drug rehabilitation purposes. I have to have it signed by the end of the month, which is why I wanted to get this through today.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Pennington,
Yes.
Ms. Belknap,
Yes.
Ms. Eltier,
Yes.
Ms. Gage.
Yes.
Alright, dispatch fire by Terry.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the dispatchers, police, fire, and rescue reports. It's for May of 2024. You have it on your table in front of you.
Second.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Pennington,
Yes.
Ms. Belknap,
Yes.
Ms. Eltier,
Yes.
Ms. Gage.
Yes.
Thank you, Terry. And Mayor's communication. I'd just like to welcome Nicole Klingman. She is our new fiscal officer, if anybody hasn't met her yet. So she's gonna be handling our day-to-day when it comes to stuff. She has a heavy hill ahead of her, so if everyone could give her a few weeks before you kinda interact with her. And after that, she'll be there. So Nicole, this is our community. I'd like to add, we just approved it. It wasn't a big deal because Miss Hill wanted it to be small and sweet, but we did do the street dedication to Mr. Hill and his family. It was nice and simple. A few council members came. Everyone left me to take pictures by myself, but I mean, I guess that's okay. So that was pretty cool. I've I've seen him slightly emotional before, but I've never seen him like he was, I think I seen him cry for a second, but he tried to act like it was heat sweat, so, well, it was pretty crispy that day. I'll let Sherry go into the Fun in the Sun stuff, but we are still looking for, vendors, or we don't have enough vendors or food trucks, or, even though we're on the fence of not having a car show, if anyone does know people that want to submit cars, we can still do that. We still have plenty of time to do all that also. School-wise, I think everyone, if you're not familiar with the schools, we have lost our superintendent, and we are in the process of getting another one. So I don't know exactly, I've heard a few names, won't say any of that stuff because it's not my space. We do have a board member here, but I'm not gonna put them on that spot either. What else? The guys have been, streets are looking pretty good. Ryan's doing a pretty good job with that. Park's looking good. It's towards the end of the season, and I just talked with a few of the organizers for that. We are going to have an outro meeting to where we can come up with a solution and get some stuff. I have a plan for the park. I know they have a plan for stuff in the park. Maybe we come together and we could all get that done. I did speak with a congressman's representative the other day. She is willing to help us get some stuff going, so we're in a good place. We just gotta keep doing it. Everyone just keep supporting each other, keep working hard. Council members, keep reaching out to other council members in other villages and towns, so we could, so we're up on information that's going on around here, so we're not left behind or we're double booking stuff like we've done a few times. Other than that, I'm probably forgetting some, but I'll bring it up again at the end. That's it. So we have finance, Terry.
Number A, we don't have a report for the expenditures for the month of June. I don't think it's on that report.
Okay.
Scott, could I look at that fund balance, please?
We'll table that. She's still in the process of.
Okay, we'll just table the finance report this month.
11, utilities, Scott.
I don't think we have anything going on right now. Unless is there any, well, we can do that if needed. No, that'd be it.
Service, Cheryl.
I've been, I went to Garrettsville, and I've been putting flyers in windows and stuff, and I went to all the stores, they were really good about it, and, I still have some more signs I gotta put up, and I have some, flyers that was from last year, and I'm thinking about putting some lettering on it, and using them this year too, for out by the road, saying, what's going on.
I was gonna talk to you about ordering some of those similar to what Garrettsville has, some of those, like, yard signs.
Yeah.
Stakes.
That's what it is, yard signs.
Yeah.
And I could, spray paint them and put, different lettering on it and use them again.
All right, thank you, Cheryl.
Let me look at some prices too of just how much it is to purchase some before you go through all of that, and then we can get back together. Let me look tomorrow and then I'll get back to you, okay?
But I mean,
No, I appreciate
I
that.
was willing to do that.
That's fine. That's good. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome.
Economic development, David's not here, but do you know if you guys, did they do anything with that water line project?
He just called me yesterday, the day before, Nick did not get back with us, so, the township didn't bring it up, so I'm gonna have to go to a township meeting and see if they'll get on board with us. If not, we're gonna move forward on trying to get the wastewaters free. So, I mean, either way, we'll I'll go to the next meeting and see if we can get that up, to make it easier to get money if township goes in on us with grants, so that's kinda where we're at.
Alrighty. 14, Parks and Rec, Sherry.
Alright, so everybody is aware, we're having, a Fun in the Sun event in July 20th. Like Mac mentioned, we are still looking for food vendors, that's kind of an area where we're short, and also volunteers. So if there's anybody who's interested in volunteering to run games, work in a booth, and help set stuff up and take it down, please let us know. We definitely still need people to sign up. We currently are accepting 14 people because we're having a rib burn off, to participate in the rib burn off. So we have 4 people signed up right now. We're also having a hot dog eating contest. Anything on that, Scott, as far as people signed up?
I have not,
Because they would be texting you or calling you.
right,
Okay.
I have nothing on messages.
I've actually been reaching out to people for the rib cook-off and stuff, so I'll start reaching out to some people, because I'm positive somebody
Is that on
want to
the digital?
participate.
You know, is it in the digital, sign in town, is that?
I
we
didn't
advertise?
put anything on the sign.
I can reach out to the school, cause they control that in front of the fire department.
Yeah, if we can get something,
Is that why it's up there?
so,
Is that why it's up there, is to put stuff out, but nothing's ever on it?
Well, I mean, I have
Yeah, there is.
things on it.
Well, I mean, about other stuff, but.
Sherry, do
oh, we
you
still
want me
get
to
a lot of
reach out
time.
to like local radio stations, cause I've heard Garrettsville on theirs.
Sure.
See, cause I think they have to do so much for like local communities for free,
I'm positive they would, yeah.
so.
So I have updated all the flyers, the car show was on there, I removed that, sent the flyers out today. If you need me to send them to your email, please let me know. I can do that and send them out to everybody. And Marilyn, did you have an opportunity to look into the gifts or the prizes for the
Well,
kids' games?
I just sent those ones to you that I had found on, Facebook, but you said you had something else that you were gonna look at.
No, I said, I sent you some snapshots of some other stuff to look at that were different, because those were,
Oh, those little flowers
those were
and
geared
stuff?
more
Right.
towards smaller children, like 2 or 3 children, 2 or 3
Okay.
years old. We were trying to target kids that are a little bit older for those type of games.
Well, I've got a huge bag of stuff, a huge bag. In fact, I just bought more recently. But, like the little flowers that are bendy, and there was something else.
There were several things that I sent you, but I really need
But I
help
did
with
look
this.
at
I cannot just do I mean, if I ask you guys to do something, I really need you guys to step up and help
Okay,
work
well,
on
I'm
this.
sorry, I
can't-
misunderstood. I thought you weren't liking what I sent.
That's not what I said. Please read
Okay.
the message.
Okay. I did, however, secure 3 food vendors, but,
You definitely need those.
one was
Can you
a lemonade, one was an ice cream. And the other guy, I'm not sure if he was really committing or not. He says he has coffee, smoothies, tea, lemonade, and mocktails. And we can look into getting like from Pepsi, one of their, stands. We would have to man it, but it's like an event thing, and they bring the stuff. I will call and check on that.
Can you send me a snapshot of each one of those vendors,
Sure.
please? We also have, 5 craft vendors that have committed and will be participating. We have the churches that will be, they're going to, well, let me back up. The Lions Club is not going to be able to have their food stand. They said they didn't get enough volunteers, so they're not gonna be able to have their, steak truck there. Yeah, so, but they are going to set up a booth. They're looking for people in the community to help, support it. They wanna share what the Lions Club, what some of the things that they're involved in, but they said that they didn't have enough staff to be able to do that. But the churches in the village are going to manage all of the kids' games for the kids that are 6 and under. and the church by the cemetery, the Bible church, they are actually, are renting a rock climbing wall. So, we'll have that available. It's a pretty hefty duty one, it looks like, so that's pretty exciting. And then the other thing is, I'm gonna put a flyer together, and I would hope that people can post this on their Facebook page. We're gonna try to apply for, well, we are going to apply for a 501c3, but we need board members to be part of it, and that would be people in the community, because we've been putting this, like Fun in the Sun or Fall Fest on with people on council, which it can be challenging. So if we can get people outside of council and people in the community, the 501c would be a nonprofit, and it would be more community-based versus the council-based. So if you guys are anyone interested, or you know someone that's interested, please reach out to any one of us. I have you down already.
All right.
So we have that going on as well. That's all I have.
Yeah, there's other communities who use the 501c3s as a mechanism, because everything you raise is tax-free at that point. And a lot of purchases that you do could be tax-free also, so it's a way to save money, and also raise money for your parks and things of that nature.
It's free. So.
But it is a separate organization from the council. It would have a president, it would have a vice president, and have a meeting once or twice a year, things of that nature. So it's not a ton of work.
Right, it'd be really good for planning when we wanna have these type of events, then we can, we're planning, and that's all we're fully, solely focused on is this event that we're getting ready to have.
Alright, like Sherry said, this is the last meeting before we have this event, so we need to, well, we'll have one more.
Right.
This is the last major meeting before we have this. We need to, everybody needs to help do something. I don't care if it's passing out a flyer, setting up a chair, I don't care what it is. Like the past few years, it's been a couple people, and it's tiresome sometimes. So if anybody could help out a little more, then it would be appreciated.
Yeah, Mac, I'll be able to get there, help set up with anything.
Thank you, sir.
Gotcha.
We got planning commission, I don't have anything on that. Zoning, Chris?
Everything's going good, a lot of projects are going on, we got siding going up in town, we got roofs going up, porch roofs. I did pull up on a couple jobs, and they had no permit, and they got contractors, obviously, they're all working with me, got right on it, so we're getting, if they don't have a permit, we need a permit, so we're handling that. I did have a couple people call me up or whatever, they're wanting new decks, replacing old decks, tearing down decks, putting up decks, whatever. So, first of all, permits are usually, they expire 6 months in the village, that's what I got here. So, my advice is, when we redo decks, everyone's gonna change it a little bit, why don't you just do the application, pay $25, and rewrite the drawing, and then you're permitted. That way, if I get a call, there's no problem. So, that's my advice to them. And then one more thing, I'm getting emails on this cannabis dispensary. People are still interested in coming to town. So the question is it approved here? Or, they're asking for zoning, and do we have places to put them? And the answer really is yes. Based on the rules and stuff, but did the council even approve that? I'd kinda like to know that before I, give them too much information that might be incorrect.
If they wanna set up a meeting like we did with the other, if they wanna set up a meeting, we can do that, and then we can decide whether it's something, cause then we have to have hearings and all that, the town has to be involved.
Okay.
Stuff like that, so I can't sit up here and say yes, and then
Right.
everyone in town, you know how that goes, boy, they'll be
Right,
dancing in the
right.
front yard, so.
So it does need to go through the hearing and stuff.
So
Okay.
we'll go about it that way.
When
If
they're
anyone's
serious.
interested, have them set up a meeting, we'll go
Okay,
that route.
alright, that's what I need to know.
Alright,
That's pretty much it.
alright, thank you.
Yep.
Well, 17, we got housing, this year, welcome everyone, yeah, we met tonight. You know, he hasn't been here for
Whatever,
about
man.
6 months. So
I miss
don't
you
know,
guys
but-
too. It's been going good. I've been setting my own times and
We know.
dates to get them done. But I'm almost caught up. I gotta give me to the end of the year. I'll have everything squared away with the housing, and then that 2025 will be my first year I'll actually be on top of things. But right now I probably got like 70 properties, 71 properties. But as soon as I've been on hiatus for a little while, so now that I'm starting back setting up dates, we'll get back together.
All right, I had a call from your favorite, person, and she has some concerns. Yoda did say he'll be here tomorrow and Thursday,
Okay.
so he's gonna be around, I guess, to do whatever. I told him, we'll just leave him alone. I wanna meet him, but other than that, I'm like, look, just
Yeah, I
do
would
what
like
you got,
to,
yeah,
but-
just do what you gotta do, so
All right.
if you're down there at some point tomorrow, just give him a call and see if you can get with him, so you.
He has. I have been talking to him.
Yeah,
He
just
has
so you
been
know,
quiet.
face to face, you can get, cause
All right.
he needs to know, like, I know she's gonna tell him, she's gonna give him
She's gonna let him
187
know.
minutes of anger, but, we'll.
At
get
least he's
that.
coming down, this,
Yeah.
finally face to face.
So hopefully that happens, he's told me he'll be here the next 2 days, so we'll see.
All right.
So just so you're aware of that, I didn't know if you were, how's that, management company doing with that building?
I haven't seen them put up the roof yet, but they have been working. They have been doing, small projects just to fix it up, but I'm really concerned about when they wanna get this roof done. So, I will be.
Well, they did say weather was a factor when we
Yes.
went,
Yeah.
it's not a factor anymore.
Yeah, it's
So,
not a factor
yeah,
anymore, so
definitely.
that's my main concern right there. So-
Okay.
And I'll, give them a call, probably tomorrow.
Alright, thank you, sir. We got 18 village administrator, right?
I got a couple things. I spoke with the lady again today, actually, she called me about the OWDA loan for the heaters. She needs a little bit of information, a little bit more information. I told her, we still wanna do it, but we're trying to get caught up first, so I ain't really pressed on it. But, it's just things like, are we gonna put it in, our rates, couple years of our finances. If we have our guys put it in, we have to pay prevailing wage. But if we have someone else do it, we gotta pay prevailing wage. So I think we still have our guys do it. If we do it in pieces, like we planned on it, we'd have to pay prevailing wage, but it's not a whole lot at once. And it's maybe an incentive for the guys too, you know? But that's something, when I get more information and we get to that point, we can talk about it. But it is still on the table, so everybody knows. And I'll fill you in on that later.
Did you kind of disclose to them a little small gist of what's going on so they don't run on us?
Yeah.
Alright.
So then, so that's that. We got the little playground equipment that's out of there. It's ours, we own it.
Okay.
So that's done. August 10th, we're having a benefit for Walt Turner, so everybody here knows, to get these 7 trees taken down. The hot stove is putting the benefit on at the American Legion. It's a bingo to help pay for it.
August what?
August 10th. So if everybody could come and maybe spread the word to get the word out. if we start this 501c3, I've done talked to a couple people around town. I kinda feel obligated if I help Walt, and I really want to. He's a Vietnam vet, he served the village for 30+ years as a fireman and an EMT.
A lot of people he's helped in this community as an EMT.
Yeah, if we could start that 501c3, I would like to see, and I would participate, like a help group for the elders in this town. Like, a woman spoke to me, she's got a big dip in her driveway, needs lifted up, just things like that, that we could help people in our community. That alone, I think, would be a standout for our community, you know, like no other. So, if anybody, like, if you guys wanna do that, if anybody's interested, I really would like to push that and get that going, and I would volunteer. I obviously can't be like the president or whatever, but I could do whatever, I could labor, so. I just think it's a big deal, but for Walt Turner, if you guys know anybody, if you could spread the word, help make it successful. He don't have the money to take those trees, they are hazardous. In the company that I got, it was, they quoted me $3,500, and they're gonna bring the truck in with a crane, and, cause they can't climb it, they're dead. And I think $3,500 for 7 trees is not a bad price.
It's cheap.
That's voluntary.
Yeah.
That's voluntary.
Yeah, so I think we should be able to raise $3,500 for that. But, and then, like, and a big shout out, nobody's here, but to Hot Stove for putting it on for us and grabbing the bull by the horns and taking off with it, so. That's all I got.
Alright, thank you, sir. Last chance for anyone to speak from council.
Who's sparing the grass cutting? Is it yeah, Jake again?
Yeah, Jake does the nuisance lines.
When we see a property, how do we forward that to him?
You can just text it to me,
Okay,
and then because I gotta send the letter out before he can mow it.
right.
We gotta go through the process, so if you see one, you send me a text.
Will do.
Anyone else, ladies?
I got one thing. The driveway in 9137 Maple Grove sent me a few pics about a nice sized cavity in front of their driveway, almost the same spot as the other driveway I sent you a while back. I don't know if you remember. But they had one, they told me to see if,
Yeah, we can get it filled.
appreciate it.
These from some people that I've talked to, I told them, the vendors, you know, like 2 o'clock, that they could come at 1 to set up, is that
Mhm.
okay?
They can come as
Alright,
early,
so say
they can
one.
come
Yeah.
earlier if they would like to,
Okay,
because
I didn't wanna tell anybody earlier than noon.
no, they
but-
can, cause what we've done in the past is some of us go up there like 9
Right,
and
right.
10 o'clock in the morning, we'll
Yeah.
set up stuff and do this, that, and the other. Then we'll leave for a little bit and come back, so,
Right,
I mean, if they wanna come up, they can come up as early as they would like to. Some people, and Rick and them have done a good job, but some people drop their stuff off the night before if they're local enough and they don't have to haul it and stuff like that. So,
right, okay,
like, I'm bringing my grill the night before and doing all that, cause I'm not
Right,
waking up
right.
to do all that, but. Alright, so
Okay.
we got, anyone else? Solicitor's report. Charles.
The municipal court now has a process in place for the photo cameras. That process. We'll charge $20 an appeal, we don't have to house the tickets there. So it's been a successful venture of moving forward with them. Hiram has gotten started with their warning period, so the first tickets will start flowing through there. So I'll be able to give a full report on percentages, things of that, well, maybe not percentages, but how many appeals they're looking at, things of that nature before we start.
Sounds good.
I received information from them, they ordered our camera, they said it'll be a few weeks, before we know when it's gonna come in.
And will that be assigned to a certain officer, or will that just get?
I think what I'm gonna do is try to get 2 or 3, so that we don't have 2 or 3 officers, including myself, trained on it, cause I like to know what they're doing. So, we gotta operate at 20 to 30 hours a week, so that way we're fulfilling the commitment with the contract. And we got somebody constantly reviewing the pictures to send back to them. So, but there's the 2 or 3 that I pick will be mainly in the beginning, just to see how it works and get it off the ground. And I haven't had any of the training yet, so I'm waiting for them to up there, cause I'm gonna go up and watch what they're doing, how they're doing it, and see exactly what it all entails before we have to start ours.
I can tell you just from the little bit, just to piggyback on that, you typically, it's 2 hours a day or 4 hours a day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, more towards your peak times. The first 30 days is probationary, so anybody who gets a ticket in the mail, they don't have to pay it, it's like a warning. So everyone's well aware at that point that that's there and that this is happening. What happens, the officers go in, they take the picture, click, 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 it downloads onto a drive, they take that, they bring it to the station uploads it, it goes off-site. They do the run on the license plate, if it's a fuzzy picture, it's thrown out, if not, it comes back, they get a match. And they have 30 days to pay thereafter once it gets put on the net. If they don't pay, they can send an appeal in, they have 30 days to do that, if they don't appeal it, then it becomes an amount due. Gets into collections.
Okay, I think I remember Trevor, Chief, one of you mentioning a 3-picture process or something like that, so it has to go through that also.
So, yeah, so they send it back to us, we verify that the color matches, the car matches, and it's visible. We authenticate that that was what they saw, and then send it back to them and they mail it out. So if any of that doesn't fit our description or what our, what we feel is accurate, then we don't send that forward and it doesn't get sent out.
Alright, is that all?
That's all I have.
Alright, we're gonna approve the July calendar.
Are those dates correct?
So we got July 9th and July 23rd, so it'll be the 2nd and the.
4, it's 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of weird month.
Just a reminder, I won't be here.
Yeah, you're gone for 2 weeks, right?
Not
Well,
2.
Kinda like a whole week.
It's a week.
Yeah. Nicole, you,
I will not be here the 20, well, I don't know when it's the 23rd. That was pre-planned vacation.
Okay.
so you're off the 23rd. Okay, alright, so let's start with the 9th. The 9th good for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
6 p.m. on the 9th. Alright, then 23rd.
I'm good.
Good for the rest of us, but if somebody else needs, you know, it to be the following week, then do that.
Do you want
I'm on that, it's
Yeah, okay.
that's that
That's
week,
fine.
23rd.
The whole
to
thing,
stay the
okay,
23rd?
might
and
as
we'll
well then.
keep
How about
it.
starting?
Yeah, she says she's gone the whole time,
Oh, okay,
so we'll just stick with the 23rd.
all right.
We'll take notes. Maryland, I don't know how that slipped down there.
Yeah,
Safety and
I don't
personnel.
either. Well, you already welcomed Nicole and everything, so there's nothing really to talk about there. She's still getting her bearings, just starting, all good. You know, just trying to pick up the pieces, these bits and pieces of meeting notes and all of this kind of stuff. I mean, other than that, fun in the sun, been concentrating on that. Nothing else really.
Okay. So you,
I'd like to make a motion, 6:39, to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Cheryl, was that you? Sorry. Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Pennington?
Yes.
Ms. Belknap? Ms. Altier? Ms. Gage?
Yes.
okay, oh, 6:39.
Must be her influence.
I did.